Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Construction Simulator 2 here on the PS4. This is all of the equipment that we need from the steelworks for the entire job. So obviously the prefab walls, these are what we came to collect, but we also at some point later going to need some corrugated metal sheets as well. Now I brought my truck over here expecting to have really big prefab walls that we would have to collect, and we really don't, so everything here is pretty small. We could load these onto the back of the trailer, but I'm just going to deliver these straight to the site. So I need to select 2 of those. These are 15% off as well, which is quite nice. And we'll deliver those to the site. You can see quite a big difference between delivering to the site and delivering to the warehouse. And of course, auto-loading would be even cheaper. But as I say, I thought we'd have these great big things that we needed. So I brought the low loader over. I brought the crane over. Don't need either of these here. So they're there for whenever we do need them, which will be a later time. Let's head back to the site. So we're going to need to get into the crane, I think. Let's have a look. Yes, place the objects in their target location. Okay, so where are the prefab walls? Well, there they are, right in front of the crane by the look of it. We want to select the hook camera. And we start to bring this down. These are our prefab walls. They've been kind of unpacked and laid out for us. Oops, the crane just drifted over there by mistake. A little bit too high. That's hooking the wrong one. Come on, swing back. There we go. So we'll hook the first one. And you can see these blue walled areas is where we need to place them, and it's on either side as well. So you can see we have a lot of walls to place. Let's give this a little twizzle. Rotate it round a bit. There we go. And I want to push the crane out a bit. And around. A little bit too far. Lower that down. And there we go, that's close enough. So, let's swing the crane back around again. Still not quite sure why we have that little blob just there. The dirt seems to be showing through the base of the floor there. Not quite sure why that is. Why is my crane not misbehaving so much? There we go. That's better. Oh no! We've just played a game of dominoes. We just knocked them all over. Oh dear. That was not clever. Never mind. It was inevitable, I think, that was going to happen at some point. Question is, can we now actually, work this? We should be okay. We should still be able to pick these up and move them. But yeah, that was not clever. It's going to make it potentially a little trickier. It might actually make it a little easier, come to think of it. Guess we'll find out. Lower this down, start giving it a little turn. The rotation on this is so slow. Oh no, I can't actually see. There we go. Excellent. There we go. So we rotate the crane around. I was going to say we need to be careful we don't hit into these, but we've already knocked them over. There's not really much else we can do to them now. So just have to see if we can hook these up one by one. go. Just avoid the spotlight there, just. Lower that down. Give it a turn. Try and swing this into position. Drop it down a bit, push it up a little bit, and across a little bit, and there we go. Another panel successfully placed where it needs to be. Alright, this could be tricky. We've got two pretty much on top of each other. Had it for a second then. There we go. Again, we'll give it a little turn and start to slide this down towards where it needs to be. And drop it down. Oops. Push it forward a bit more. It doesn't want to do that, does it? It's in the right... There we go. That's better. It's in the right block now. Unload that one. So just this corner piece on this side left to do. And then we just have a straight wall on the other side. Raise the crane up a bit. Extend it outwards. There we go. So once again, give it a little turn just to get it into position. Try and carefully maneuver this where it needs to be. There we go. So, one more piece. This one, hopefully, we won't have to rotate that much. It depends how much it just naturally seems to swing as we move around. A little extreme close-up of the hook there. Completely unintentional. It's just the way the camera decided to pan. Now, this one's going to be tricky because this one, in the hook that we need to connect to, is actually inside one of the other concrete blocks. So, this could upset the stack a little bit, but we need to get rid of it. Nope, there we go. So carefully swing this around. Start to lower it down. Pull it in a little bit. Little turn. Some sideways movements. And there we go. So, one wall is complete. We still have the opposite side still to build. It shouldn't take us too long. I'm enjoying the crane, as always, but still, by far, my favourite job that we've done so far, of all of the jobs that we've done, is still, despite the horrific Bernie Butter, it's still the diner. That was such a fun job to do. You know, the crane work on that was just so easy, so smooth to do. This one is a little bit more fiddly. At least it is at the moment. Gotta be careful I don't hit the spotlight. There we go. Give it a turn. That should do it. And there we go. So, next piece. Oh, hook's a little bit too low there. Just dragging it through the hill, through the dirt. And that's the next one hooked. Over the street lamp. Oh, no, went through the street lamp. Never mind. The sun is coming out. It's going to make things a little easier to see now. I'm also going to change the camera position a little bit. This might confuse me as to which way I need to be pushing on the stick. That's the other thing that's sometimes a little tricky with cranes is figuring out which way you need to press the stick, because the controls always stay exactly the same, but your interpretation of those controls changes as the crane swings from side to side, depending on where your camera is based. So if you have the camera facing in the opposite direction to the way the crane naturally faces, then it means that the controls you're using on your stick, instead of pressing left, or instead of when you press left, you might not move left, you might move right. You know, if your cameras are flipped around 180 degrees, for example, it can get a little bit confusing and a little bit tricky sometimes. Okay, so this is going to get really awkward now that we're kind of accidentally spinning some of those blocks out of position again, even further. It's going to be hard to hook some of those. We run the risk of not being able to hook them at all, and if that's the case, well, hopefully we can use the hook itself to actually kind of just give them a nudge in the right direction, into the right position. But if not, we may potentially have to restart this section of the job, which I don't really want to have to do when we're almost finished on it. Let's see, can we salvage these pieces? First of all, drop the hook right down here. See if I can swing. Ah, there we go. Oh, oh, wow. Yeah, that was not intended. They've gone flying, and I don't even know where they've gone flying to. Oh, we can pick those up. That's okay. Disaster averted, sort of. They've just, you know, they took a bit of a tumble. Not for the first time, but we can still work with this. They'll probably actually be easier to pick up now because they're all completely isolated. So in a way, it's actually done us a little bit of a favour to just throw them all over the place like that, although that wasn't what I was intending to do. was hoping to just nudge them away from the border a little bit so that we could still hook them all. There we go. Get it into position. Start to lower down. Oops. A little bit too high. There we go. And we'll drop that one there. Last piece to go. There we go. We're hooked. We shouldn't have to rotate this one. It's kind of already facing in the right direction. We just need to move it into position. And there we go. Task complete. We have laid the concrete walls. And that's actually made quite a big change, look. We still got that... oh, no, we've covered over it now. We're now building, I guess, the roof of the underground car park. We have to pour concrete in the same spot as before. So can I jump into the pump? I can. That's helpful. Let's get basically set back up in exactly the same position as before. That'll make the setup process nice and quick. So function mode to extend our outriggers. There we go. This time I will remember to open the flap up. Swing the arm around. There we go. So now I need the concrete mixer. And we should be able to back this into position relatively quickly and easily. Let me just extend the chute. Get that lined up. There we go. Do we need more concrete? Yes, we do. Quite a bit more by the look of it. We'll start the pour. Move back into the pump and start pouring our concrete. There we go. Splashing it around a little bit, but making sure we're getting it where we need it. Nice, simple, straightforward job this. Just splosh some concrete down. Gotta love it when they keep the jobs nice and simple for us like this. Yeah, I wonder what we're going to have to do next. We should have all the equipment that we need now for this job. We brought over the other parts that we needed from the steelwork. We already brought over all the equipment we needed from the builders merchants. So we should have everything we need. There we go. Nice, good coverage. Oh, we're out of concrete. Okay. Let's refill that. There we go. And now restart the pump. Good stuff. A bit of wear and tear on our concrete pump. These things do take a lot of hammering. Really, we do use them an awful lot. So it's not surprising that we do continually need to tinker and maintain these more than we do with most of our other vehicles. Go. Look at that. Beautifully smooth. And our car parking seems to be pretty much done now. Complete the following delivery. Corrugated metal sheets. Well, we already have those. Where are they? We had those delivered to the job site. Where did they get delivered to? Ah, there they are. All the way over next to all those pallets of sod. So we need to swing the crane around. Have I got enough reach? Will my crane extend? No, it won't. It is fully extended. We can't go any further. That's frustrating. So it's delivered them where we can't actually access them. I'm a little frustrated and a little annoyed by that. So we are going to need a truck to actually collect those and bring them to where we can at least access them. That was the whole point of having them auto delivered in the first place. So let's go into our motor pool. We only need a very small vehicle for this. So I'm just going to go back to our very first flatbed. This one here, we're going to retrieve this. It's going to be much more maneuverable and easier to use this than it is to bring a low loader or a long flatbed over. We'll just take this over there. So let's take this to the site. There we go. Just, I can't believe we have to collect these despite having them delivered. I'm going to move the sod as well, because if we can't move, we can't reach the corrugated steel, we're not going to be able to reach the sod either. So we'll put all the sod on first, and then hopefully we'll be able to put the steel on top, which we can then just lift off afterwards. Just hope this crane is strong enough for the steel. Should be. God, it's been a while since we've used this, isn't it? So basically we'll park all the stuff up around the around the side, and then just lift it off the truck when we need it. I think that's going to be the easiest way for us to do this. Like I said though, just frustrating that, you know, we had this delivered so that we wouldn't have to mess around with a truck like this, and yet here we are having to mess around with a truck because the auto delivery point is too far from the crane. That could have been better thought out, I think. Next question is, can I actually get all of these bits on? Am I going to be able to squeeze this one right into the corner? I'm going to have to really stretch that up. Let's try dropping it down here. Like that. There we go. And now let me try and put one of the steel on top, just to make sure that that will actually work. And that we can lift it. Oh, it's the wrong hook class. Okay, well, let's get the sod loaded. Just one thing after another at the moment, isn't it? Still don't even know if that steel will sit on top of the sod. It should do. Probably going to say wrong class of weight bed as well next. Too heavy for this particular vehicle to transport, or something like that. Anyway, any other way it can mess with us on this job. If I'd known about all this hassle, I would have just stuck it on a flatbed at the beginning. Never mind, we're living and learning. Maybe we've been a little bit over-reliant on the deliver straight to the site option. Maybe we should just, you know, stick to auto-loading onto the flatbed so that, you know, we have all the materials we need where we need them. And I think the easiest way for that to do is every job we take on from now on is if we go onto that's a monster crane. It's going to be way too big, but you know, it's already out, so it saves messing around getting the other one out of the motor pool. I think what we'll do is every job we take on from now on, we'll get a flatbed or a low loader ready, and the first thing we'll do is we'll pay a trip to the steel mill and Another chance at these red light trophies. That's one there. There's no more red lights available yet. Okay, we've got red lights there. Oh, and they've changed. Ah, of course they've changed. Oh, and this thing's so slow at reversing by the time I get... Yeah, the lights have changed again, look. Ah. It's going to be the same again. By the time I get through these lights, they'll change again. Yep. Ah. It just doesn't want me to get this trophy, does it? But yeah, as I was saying, what we'll do is we'll take a long trailer down to both a builder's merchants and a steel mill at the start of every job and just auto-load all the components we're going to need onto... Oh, those don't seem to count as red lights. That's weird. Auto-load everything we need onto the truck and then have it parked up at the side of the job so that we're not going to have these kind of issues again going forward. At least that's the plan. Plans will obviously have to change from time to time. Let's get these materials loaded onto the flatbed. Yeah, in the time that we've taken to kind of mess around with this, we could, of course, have just taken them over with a hook in the first place, but we would still need to have moved the sod at some point, so it's not the end of the world, I suppose. Let's raise that up a bit. Doesn't seem to want to give me the opportunity to lower it down. Okay, well, we'll rotate it and we'll try and manually place it and hope that it won't go flying off the top. Might not even let me unload on here, but we'll find out. Oh no, there we go. I just wasn't low enough, you know, so if we unload that there. There we go. Ugh, what a palaver. Give it a spin, just so we can get it lined up a bit better. There we go. That'll do. Pull the arm in. Move it over where it needs to be. Lower it down and release. There we go. So, we can reset that. Go back into driving mode. There we go. Can park up here out of the way. Get on, strap everything down. Can we make the turn? No, we can't. There we go. Yeah, we ran a red light. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ah, was that quick enough? No trophy has popped. Yeah, maybe it's a bugged trophy. Yeah, it didn't pop. Never mind. Right, so truck is parked up here. Let's unsecure the load. Let's jump back into the crane. We can find the crane. What? Ah, let's do it the quick way. There we go. Swing the arm all the way back around again. go. Let's pull the arm in. Drop the crane arm down. Where is the crane? Actually, let's go to the hook camera so we can see what we're doing. Pull that in. Get the next one. There we go. Okay. And there we go. Task completed. Finally! That took way longer than we needed it to. And now we need to deliver the sod into the same spot. So again, we would have had to have messed around moving the sod because that was also out of reach of our crane. So this is why we brought the flatbed round with everything on it, because I knew that we would need to move this at some point. This might be the very last thing, so I was going to end the episode, but we'll kind of keep going a little bit longer. In fact, actually, I'm toying with the idea of moving the flatbed across a bit to see where we need to deliver. Just to speed the process up a little bit, perhaps. Yeah, let's do that. So let me jump into this, reset it, move it out the way. We'll pull the flatbed into that spot, and then we've got much less of a distance to transfer everything. There we go. Flatbed. There it is. I'm not going to secure it all down again because we're only going around the corner. Concrete mixer is still pumping concrete out. We better turn that off. Ah, look, it's limiting our speed. We can only go 6 miles an hour because we haven't strapped everything down. Yeah, I've never really tried to do that before over any kind of distance other than a few meters. So that kind of makes sense. I like that. And we're learning stuff still. That's kind of cool. And there we go. Now we jump in. It's kind of stopped spreading. So I didn't mean to reset it. Never mind. We'll leave it there. Quick jump back into the crane. Onto the hook camera. There we go. Well, very quickly, because I think this might be the last job. We'll just stick with it and we'll let this episode run a little bit longer than normal. Oh, don't tell me I'm out of range again. Am I out of range again? That can't be maximum. Surely. It is. It's not. This job is really, really starting to frustrate the hell out of me now. Right. Yeah, I think of all the jobs we've done, this is the least well thought out in terms of where everything is positioned. Just the crane position is not good. Whoops. It's in there. It counts. small profit this month. That's mainly from just the soil, because we haven't really been paid for this job yet. We've had little bits of payment here and there, but not much. There we go, it's the next one done. Swing this one around. This has been one of the the messier unloading jobs. There we go. Still got 2 more to go. It's hard to get into a rhythm with the crane on this job. Finally starting to get one now that this is the last thing that we need to hook into position. Oops. Let that swing back through. There we go. So deliver this last pallet. And there we go, challenge mastered. Pack donkey. I think that's possibly moving or number of crane jobs done, but we've completed the job. There we go. It took us 2 hours. A lot of faffing around on that one, unfortunately. We earned $1.03 million and then bonus $206,000 as well. 18,000 XP with the bonus 3,600. That's very, very nice indeed, and we're halfway from level 19 through to level 20. A good place for us to end this episode. So next time out, we will start work on the Museum of Interesting Things. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I'll be back with another episode of Construction Simulator 2 very soon.